Hello, Bible Fellowship Church. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Digging Deeper. I'm here with Daniel Bagherpour, and Daniel, we're starting a new series right now.
Yeah,
on
I
Sunday
heard.
mornings.
The Way?
The Way. I'm calling it The Way. You know, in Acts, Luke, he records 5 different times, okay? But starting in Acts 19, we're going to see this mentioned 4 more times. It happened earlier in Acts, but he mentions this title, this name that was given to the church, to the followers of Jesus, and they refer to themselves as the Way.
Yeah.
Or people of the Way. Okay.
Right.
And it comes from Jesus' words when he made the claim that he was the way and the truth and the life. And so there they find themselves, you know, doing the work of the kingdom, taking the gospel into the world. Churches are being planted and growing, and the movement became known as the Way, the people of the Way. They were the people of the Way.
Yeah.
Which, and you and I were talking about this a minute ago, which is really a title for Jesus.
Right.
Because he said, I am the way. Right.
The truth and the life.
Yeah. And, you know, we were discussing this, you guys, a few minutes ago, and some people might say, well, that's pretty narrow-minded. Like, what do you mean you're of the way? Don't all roads lead to heaven? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, there's this thought, I think even in the world today, that, you know, man, Christianity is so exclusive and so narrow-minded, and why isn't it more inclusive? And but the reality is, and we were talking about this. This is the first revelation I had of this, by the way. This is cool. But the reality is that before Jesus, you know, there was no way.
Yeah.
So it's not narrow-minded to say that Jesus is the way when there was really no way.
Right.
And so God made a way, right? I mean, He created the way. And it's one of the reasons why Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life. And you can't get to the Father except through me. It was the cross of Christ that bridged the gap, if you will, that made the path, that created the way to the Father, to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, and this idea of exclusivity or of, you know, that we're not inclusive enough as Christians or that we're too narrow-minded or whatever it is, I think it denies the reality that there was no way before Jesus. And so here we find ourselves saying, hey, look, no, there is a way, right? When we're going into the world and say, you guys, there is a way. You know, it's not just that there is, you know, that we're narrow-minded. It's that, no, there's a way. This is the good news.
Right.
It's actually really good news because there is a way.
Yeah. And then in some ways too, like I would say like, well, yes, we are narrow-minded, but that's because that's just the fact of the matter, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there is only one way. Like maybe if you're hiking and there's a mountain you're trying to climb, but there's all these paths you could take. Right. But there's only one path that you're going to be able to make. The other paths are going to lead to death. Right. 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 And we have a canyon like that, Massacre Canyon here in town. Yeah. There's many ways you could try to scale Massacre Canyon, but those ways will lead you to death. Well,
and I've done this because I used to be an avid backpacker, right? Then I hurt my back, and I'm getting back into it. My back's healing, so I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you go down the wrong path, you could quickly find yourself in a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, not just in a mess, but in danger of losing your life.
Right.
I mean, that's a true statement. That's a reality out there in the world. And so, because somebody else has trailblazed, somebody else has gone that path, right? Mm-hmm. And so then they put down the markers and they put down the signs and they draw the lines and there's the beaten path. You can see it with your eyes. So they've determined the way to the peak, to the summit, to the end, if you will.
Exactly.
And they've made the mistakes. They've gone the wrong ways, if you will. They've done these things. That's a really good illustration because it's a picture of Jesus. You know, he took on our sins. He did the hard work. He paid the price. He trailblazed for us this road into heaven.
Yeah.
And he's inviting us now to walk down the way, the path to heaven, which is the path of the cross. It's following him. He is the way. And the way. You know, nobody says that about Christians anymore.
No.
People aren't like, oh, look, they're the people of the
People of
way.
the way.
You know, it's like, no, people be like, what? Are you from some weird Star Wars kind of planet
You're
or
like
whatever?
the Mandalorian. This is the way.
Right. No. We're followers of Jesus. We're of the way. And, so anyways, I hope that blessed you guys. I'm really hoping that makes sense in your mind that look, it is narrow, but it's narrow because there was no way and God created the way. And so what a blessing it is. It's actually good news for us that we have this blessing of being a part of a movement that leads to heaven. We're on the road to heaven. We're part of the movement of the way. We're followers of Jesus. And so let's not be ashamed of that. Let's go out there and just proclaim it boldly to the world. We're of the way.
Yes.
Yeah. And
people of the way.
People of the way. Anyways, God bless you guys. I'm glad you guys joined us today. And come back next week for part 2 of this discussion as we talk some more on the way. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks, Pastor Chris.
All right.